welcome to Podcast with Sheila, the space where positivity meets real life experiences. As we step into the brand new chapter, I'm excited to bring a fresh twist to the podcast. This year, we are diving into something different, real life activities paired with real life stories. Imagine learning something new like cooking or crafting while uncovering lessons from inspiring, sometimes heart-wrenching stories that stick with you long after the episode ends. Now, I know it's been a while since I've had guests on the podcast, and trust me, I have a list of remarkable people I would love to bring on. Life gets busy, but as the timing aligns, we will have these conversations. Until then, this new direction promises to be just as captivating. Today, I have a story that will leave you thinking long after you've heard it. It's about a young woman, a beacon of ambition and determination, whose life took an unexpected turn because of someone's bitterness. It's a tale of resilience, injustice, and the lessons we can all take away. So, grab a moment for yourself, lean in, and let's dive into the gripping story of a dream nearly crushed, but a spirit that refused to break. A story is told of a young lady whose determination burned brighter than the flame. From the moment she received her acceptance letter to the university, her path became clear. This was her chance to write a story and achieve something extraordinary. She was not just ambitious, she was fiercely goal-oriented, a go-getter who believed in the power of hard work and focus. Her mantra was simple: failure was not an option. For this young lady, her university journey was not just about gaining an education, but proving that with determination and effort, she could rise above any challenge. On her first day at university, she made a solemn vow to herself. She would graduate with first-class honors. This wasn't just a dream, but a goal she was determined to achieve. The first semester of her first year passed in a whirlwind of lectures, sleepless nights, and endless study sessions. Her peers often marveled at her discipline and focus. Whilst others balanced social activities and late-night parties, she spent her time in the library, her head buried in books, determined to stay ahead. When the semester results were released, her hard work bore fruit. She was among the first students who achieved first-class honors. Her achievement didn't just earn her admiration, it also came with a remarkable reward. At her university, where accommodation was scarce due to overcrowding, first-class students were given priority access to on-campus housing. Most students had to scramble to find rooms in town, often hours away from campus. But not her. Her academic excellence meant she was entitled to a room in the hall of her choice, one of the many perks designed to motivate high-performing students. This was a moment of pride for her. Not only had she achieved her goal for the semester, but she now had the privilege of choosing her accommodation. She carefully selected one of the best halls, known for its proximity to lecture halls, serene environment, and modern facilities. Her university was 4 hours away from her hometown. This did not deter her. She woke up at the crack of dawn, eager to secure her room before the rush began. She knew the process would be competitive. Other students would also be queuing for rooms, and some might even try to pay extra to secure the best ones. As she boarded the bus in the early hours of the morning, her heart was full of hope. She had worked hard, earned her place, and was ready to claim what was rightfully hers. By the time she arrived on campus, she was the first in line outside the hallmaster's office. The queue grew behind her as other students arrived, but she remained steadfast, her focus unwavering. When the hallmaster began seeing students, her name was called first, as she had been at the front of the queue. She walked into the office, ready to finalize her room allocation. The hallmaster, a middle-aged man with sharp eyes and an air of authority, looked at her documents. There was a pause, and his gaze lingered on her name. "Do you know Mr. Insia?" he asked abruptly. The young lady, ever polite and honest, nodded. "Yes, he's my uncle," she replied. The hallmaster's expression darkened for a moment, but he quickly masked it. "Wait outside, I'll call you back," he said cruelly. Puzzled but obedient, she left the office. As she stepped out, she couldn't help but notice a subtle shift in his tone. Something wasn't right. She waited for hours, watching as other students were called in and allocated rooms. Her patience began to wear thin, as one by one the best rooms were given away. By the time the hallmaster called her back in, her hopes had dimmed. When he handed her the key, her heart sank. The room he allocated was nothing like what she had envisioned. It was a cramped studio space meant to house 8 people. It was located next to the communal toilets, and the stench was unbearable. This was a far cry from the reward she had earned through her hard work. As she tried to make sense of what had happened, she discovered the shocking truth. Years ago, her uncle and the hallmaster had been friends. However, their friendship had soured when her uncle interfered in the hallmaster's romantic relationship. The hallmaster had been in love with a woman he had intended to marry, but her uncle, driven by selfishness, had swooped in and stolen her away. To make matters worse, her uncle didn't even marry the woman. This betrayal left the hallmaster bitter and resentful, and he had carried this grudge for years. When he realized the lady was related to his former friend, he saw an opportunity to exact revenge, not on the uncle directly, but on the innocent niece. This story reveals much about the nature of ambition, resilience, and the destructive power of unresolved grudges. The hallmaster, blinded by bitterness, failed to see the young lady for who she truly was, a hard-working, innocent individual who had no part in her uncle's misdeeds. Instead, he allowed his pain to cloud his judgment, punishing her for a past she wasn't even aware of. As for the uncle, his actions remind us of the importance of integrity. He had taken something that didn't belong to him, driven by selfish desire, without considering the ripple effect it might have. His actions not only hurt the hallmaster, but indirectly affected his niece years later. Lessons learned. 1. Bitterness and grudges poison the soul. The hallmaster's inability to let go of the past turned him into a cruel man. Holding on to resentment only perpetuates pain and prevents growth. 2. Integrity is key. The uncle's actions serve as a cautionary tale. Never take what doesn't belong to you. Coveting or stealing someone else's possession or relationship can have long-lasting consequences. 3. Resilience in the face of injustice. The young lady's story teaches us the value of perseverance. Though she faced unfair treatment, her resolve remained strong, and she used the experience to fuel her ambition further. 4. Work hard and let your success speak. While obstacles may arise, staying focused on your goals and working hard will ultimately lead to success. Well, this is where we wrap up, and I can't wait to have a taste of these delicious looking meat pies. In closing, life is full of challenges, some of which we don't deserve, but remember, your response to adversity defines you. Let go of bitterness, live with integrity, and never let setbacks deter you from your dreams. If this story inspired you, please subscribe for more and let's continue sharing lessons that makes us better individuals. Many thanks for watching, and until I come your way again, have a brilliant day. Bye.